Greetings and salutations, comrades. Hope this finds you well. So, fortunately, I came across another very, cringe-worthy video, just disgusting on a lot of levels. The type of rhetoric that Tulsi Gabbard is putting out these days, if she actually had any type of quote-unquote, progressive values or politics, it seems like those have went completely out the window. And now she's going on Fox News talking about how the Biden administration's policy of open borders is why we have, migrants trying to come to the United States, when in fact the Biden administration has the exact opposite of a open borders policy, and they've been mass deporting people for many months at this point. So she's either completely disconnected from the actual material reality on the ground, what's actually happening, with these migrants, with these asylum seekers who are being, turned away and deported back to really, deplorable conditions in their countries. Obviously, that's why people come to the United States. And I think Tulsi would do herself a very big favor if she actually read this book by Harshwa Lilia, Border and Rule, Global Migration, Capitalism, and the Rise of Racist Nationalism. As they point out in this book, it's not a mass migration, it's a mass displacement crisis. So here's just from the foreword. I think this is really important. Quote, exclusionary projections of who belongs, which again is what Tulsi is saying during this Fox interview I'm going to show you. Exclusionary projections of who belongs and who has the right to life upholds ruling class and right-wing nationalism, thus breaking international solidarity and entrenching global apartheid. Be better, Tulsi is fucked up. You're literally upholding this. A political and economic system that treats land as a commodity, indigenous people as overburdened, race as a principle of social organization, women's caretaking as worthless, workers as exploitable, climate refugees as expendable, and the entire planet as a sacrifice zone must be dismantled. But again, the type of rhetoric that Tulsi Gabbard is putting out there these days, particularly it seems like when she goes on Fox News, does the exact opposite of what Harshwa Leah so eloquently talked about in that part of that forward for again, this very, very important book. I highly recommend everybody check it out. So here we go. The open door policy, like, no, there's no open door policy. And it's the humanitarian crisis is a crisis of capitalism, imperialism, white supremacy, etc. It has literally nothing to do with the open door policy. You absolute fucking hack at this point, Tulsi Gabbard. Jesus fucking Christ. Do better, but I guess this is too much to expect, and you'd probably lose your, your ability to come on Fox News and get paid a tidy sum to spout this absolute, xenophobic, racist, nationalist nonsense.
Hawaii Congresswoman and former Democratic presidential candidate Tulsi Gabbard, who is now a lieutenant colonel in the U.S. Army Reserves. Tulsi, thanks so much for joining us tonight. Tulsi, I want you to think back to the 17 years when you were in the National Guard. If you could picture yourself or some of the members of the Guard that you were with being in Texas at the border and having drug cartels, criminals with AR-15s, AK-47s shooting across the Rio Grande into the United States at the National Guard. That's what's going on as we speak in the United States today. What is the Biden administration doing about this, and what should they be doing?
Well, first of all, for our soldiers who are serving down there, I'm sure they have rules of engagement to deal with this sort of situation. But really the bigger issue here judges, that these drug cartels, these human traffickers, they are incredibly emboldened to the point where they feel that they can do this without consequence, where they feel they can continue profiting off of trafficking people across these borders that are essentially open. The Biden-Harris administration has an open door policy at the borders, and it doesn't matter how many.
Dude, what in the fuck are you actually talking again? But there's people who watch Fox News. There's people who watch this video who actually think, no, that's actually what's happening. There is an open door. Like, shut the fuck up, dude. They're mass deporting people. Like, how disconnected from reality do people have to be to actually consume Fox News? Like, this is your brain on Fox News. Like, really? How could you consume this and actually think this is reality? The Biden administration has been deporting more people than the fucking Trump admin. So are you saying that Trump also had an open door fucking policy? Like, shut the fuck up, man. You're just spouting absolute nonsense, completely disconnected from reality.
Times
Jesus
Secretary
Christ.
Blinken or Kamala Harris or anyone from the administration says, don't come across the border. The reality is that people are being let in and crossing the border.
To the extent that anybody is being let in, they're being deported just as quickly as, ICE and the Border Patrol can deport. Like, oh my fucking, just shut the fuck up, dude. Again, if you're actually concerned about people coming in to the United States, you would look at the fucking root causes of that. So US imperialism, free trade agreements, US propping up these, dictatorships, these authoritarian right-wing reactionary governments in these countries that these people are coming from, looking at the actual material conditions, how you could improve that so people are able to stay in their countries. But of course, it's just demonizing Biden for supposedly this open door policy that doesn't exist, instead of actually looking at the root causes of why this is happening. So this is from page 2 from this great book. I have previously theorized border imperialism to depict the process by which the violence and precarities of displacement, again, this is a crisis of displacement. It's not a crisis of, migration. These people are coming here, they're being displaced from their homelands for reasons, right? And migration are structurally created as well as maintained, including through imperial subjugation, criminalization of migration, which seems like what Tulsi and obviously Fox News are in complete support of, racialized hierarchy of citizenship, and state-mediated exploitation of labor. While undoing border imperialism is a contribution to movement organizing, this book, borders are an ordering regime, both assembling and assembling through racial capitalist accumulation and colonial relations. Boom. But again, I guess this is probably too much for, Tulsi or any of her stands to understand.
Every single day. Like, we look at the numbers in August of this year alone, over 200,000 people were apprehended for trying to illegally cross the border.
And nobody's illegal on fucking stolen land. Shut the fuck up, you absolute hack.
317% increase over last year, August. And we're seeing hundreds of thousands more crossing the border who are not apprehended. Actions speak louder than words, and the fact is that the open door policy.
I'm sorry, I can't take any more of that. Just complete and utter nonsense, complete fucking bullshit. The Biden administration does not have any type of open door policy. I'll link an article down below if you like. They've been mass deporting people as much as possible on record pace. At some points, and probably still true now, deporting more people than the Trump administration did. So does that mean Trump had an open door policy? Of course fucking not, dude. Oh my God. It's like, some of these Tulsi stands are just fucking so horrible. And then she's also out there bragging about how she was, serving U.S. empire and U.S. imperialism in the fucking in the continent, on the continent of Africa. Like, shut down AFRICOM as well. She's become a complete and utter hack at this point, and hope she sleeps well at night knowing she's spouting this just utter racist, xenophobic, nonsense on Fox News. I hope that paycheck is worth it, Tulsi. Of course, quick shout out to the 2 Uber comrades supporting me on Patreon, my partner. Thank you. And Independent Left News. Definitely check them out. Like the video, subscribe for more content. All part of the people. Peace.